The smell hit first. Neighbors thought it was garbage. But it wasn't. It was something far worse. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, police were called to a small one-story house. Reports said the woman inside hadn't been seen for weeks. Her curtains stayed shut, mail piled on the porch, and every night, the faint glow of a single lamp burned from her living room. When officers knocked, a man answered. His eyes were hollow, his shirt stained, his voice calm. "I'm fine," he told them. But nothing was fine inside that house. The woman's name was Linda Matthews, a beloved mother, a retired nurse, a woman who always checked in with friends and family. But suddenly, she vanished. Her son, Daniel Matthews, lived with her. Neighbors knew him as quiet, strange, someone who kept to himself. But no one expected the horror that was about to unfold. When police stepped inside, the air was suffocating. The smell of decay was everywhere. They moved through the hallway, flashlights cutting through darkness. And there she was, Linda's body, lying on her bed, unmoved, unburied, left to rot, while her son still lived in the house. At first, police thought Daniel was in shock. Maybe he couldn't let go. Maybe he just didn't know what to do. But the truth? It was darker. Investigators found signs of struggle, bruises on Linda's body, marks on her arms, and around her neck, evidence of strangulation. This wasn't neglect. This wasn't confusion. This was murder. Daniel hadn't just lived with his mother's corpse. He had killed her. Detectives worked quickly. They searched the house. What they found painted a picture of obsession and control. Linda had been planning to cut Daniel off. She wanted him to find a job, to move out, to finally grow up. But Daniel refused. For years, he had relied on her money, her food, her kindness. And when she threatened to stop, he snapped. Investigators pieced together a chilling timeline. Neighbors remembered hearing shouting one night, a crash, and then silence. That was the night Linda died. Daniel strangled her in a fit of rage. Then, instead of calling for help, he left her body in her bed and continued living in the house. For 4 weeks, detectives found something even worse. Food wrappers and beer bottles littered the living room. Daniel had been eating, drinking, watching TV, all while his mother's body decomposed in the next room. He even told officers he talked to her sometimes, as if she were still alive. The coroner's report confirmed it. Linda had been dead for nearly a month before anyone called the police. In the interrogation room, Daniel barely blinked. Detectives pressed him. Why did he do it? Why live with her body? At first, he denied everything. It was an accident, he said. She just stopped breathing. But the evidence was clear. Strangulation, bruises, signs of a violent struggle. Finally, Daniel confessed. He said his mother wanted to abandon him. He said she was taking away everything, and he couldn't let that happen. His words were cold, detached, no remorse. But here's the part that shook the community the most. Daniel had been using his mother's bank card the entire time. Detectives uncovered ATM withdrawals, online orders, even fast food deliveries, all paid for with Linda's account, while she lay dead in her own home. To him, her death wasn't a tragedy. It was an opportunity. Daniel Matthews was arrested on charges of first-degree murder. Neighbors watched in shock as officers led him out in handcuffs. Some cried. Some whispered. Others just stared, unable to process the horror happening in their quiet street. Linda was gone, but the image of her son, calm and expressionless, being escorted into a squad car would haunt them forever. At trial, prosecutors painted Daniel as cold and calculated. Not just a killer, but a son who showed no humanity. They showed the jury photos of Linda's bedroom, the bed where she had been left to rot, the receipts from her stolen money, the timeline of his chilling indifference. The jury took only hours to decide. Guilty. Daniel Matthews was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Linda's friends describe her as kind, generous, a woman who had spent her life helping others as a nurse. The thought of her dying at the hands of her only son broke everyone. To this day, her house remains empty. Neighbors say they can't walk past without shivering. Some claim the smell still lingers in their memory. Others can't shake the image of police cars flashing red and blue outside that small suburban home. The question still chills anyone who hears it. How can a son murder his own mother and then live with her corpse for weeks? For the community, the answer may never come. But one truth remains. Evil sometimes hides in the most ordinary homes. Please subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories. And do not forget to like and share.